Welcome to Duo Chat with Brittany and Cynthia, where we talk about drama shows from shows ranging from the 90s to today.
Hi everyone, I'm Brittany,
And I'm Cynthia.
and today we're talking about season 5, episode 14, titled Guerilla Filming or Filmmaking. Air date February 6th, 2002, and the synopsis is
Dawson begins directing Oliver's movie with Oliver playing the lead. When Dawson discovers that Oliver isn't right for the part, he must recast it, the male lead. And then during the filming, Audrey has a crisis because she kissed Pacey and felt like she was betraying Joey. Meanwhile, Joey feels conflicted about her situation with Wilder. Also, Jack is fed up with his frat brothers after Eric accuses Jack of making a pass at him, in which Jack moves out of the frat house.
which I didn't know he moved back in.
Right.
Because remember, he gave back the key and everything. I didn't realize he um gave it back.
Yeah, well, Eric gave him back the key in that same scene, but we never saw Jack like go back into the house. Yeah, so
Yeah,
I
so
don't know
I
when that
just I
happened.
just
Yeah.
figured when he gave the key, he took his stuff with him. I didn't realize he kept it all there.
hmm Unless he was just giving the key back as the last thing to do, I guess. Yeah,
Yeah,
so we
but
start.
normally
mm,
normally you give the key back and also take your stuff with you.
Yeah, I don't know. Jack just
It's
didn't
kind of
hit the
weird that
opposite.
he didn't do that.
hmm
And why would you go back
I don't know.
after what they did
hmm
even in at like midnight? I'd be going to get my stuff. Like there is no way I would go back in there.
hmm
Would you?
No,
So you got into a fight, no one stood up for you, and it was okay, and you're gonna just go back there as if nothing happened. Are you serious?
I guess Jack's just trying to give them the benefit of the doubt, I guess.
He's like naive or something, because like I
Because they,
can't imagine in what world you would go back.
I guess it's just because they've spent like a whole semester together. So maybe he's still holding on to the fact that maybe they do care about him a little bit. I don't know.
Care after what they said, they care.
Yeah, I know. I don't know.
Like
Jack's.
even if it was my sibling, I would
hmm
still move out. Like there I don't care who it is. Like they didn't apologize. They told the truth of what they truly believe
hmm
and what they used you for, and yet you're still there. I don't understand it at all.
Yeah, and Jack's also been drinking a lot too, so that could be it.
Yeah.
So we start off the episode with Audrey and Oliver filming a scene. Then Audrey stops because she can't kiss him. And Audrey gives Dawson tips on how she would seduce a guy. She calls it feeble writing. And Oliver is offended and says he's right there.
I'm
Because I
sorry,
guess,
but I
yeah.
really don't understand Oliver's movie.
hmm
Did
Yeah,
you?
because no, because apparently nobody even told Audrey that, he wrote the movie. She just assumed Dawson did because he was directing it.
Well, just because you direct it doesn't mean you wrote it.
I know, but just from before, I guess, from like Joey telling Audrey that that's what happens with Dawson. He always directs his own stuff, so that's probably why. And then
Can I just
Jen
say
tells,
something?
yeah,
Watching Dawson film, I don't know, but it was just like good to see.
yeah,
Like normally he annoys me when he's directing,
hmm
but for some reason he didn't annoy me.
right,
Like it was fun to like watch him.
hmm
And I hate watching him.
yeah.
But it was fun. I was like, come on, give me some more Dawson scenes.
hmm And then Jen tells Dawson that they should have made it an animated movie, as if they have any experience to do that or capability. But Dawson talks through the scene with Audrey. He tells everyone, let's shoot the scene before we get old and die in our sleep. Very dramatic. Jen uses the megaphone to tell everyone back to places, and it makes a really high-pitched noise, so everybody looks at her.
Well, I do think it was funny because like Jen told Dawson we should have made an animated movie.
Yeah, yeah, I said that, yeah.
Yeah, but
And then
it was just funny because she's like, oh my God, like how are we gonna go on with these people?
Oliver especially.
Yeah. Like yeah, he's ruining his own movie.
hmm And then Dawson gives directions with the boom mic to Pacey, and Jen uses a clapperboard to start the take. They begin, and then the theme song. And then we go to Joey in Wilder's class again. He's talking about writers' work and conflict and um, desires versus their ideas, the head and the heart. Wilder asks for examples, and Joey brings up her idea about a guy, but then the bell rings, so she has to wait till next week.
Yeah, and wasn't the guy him?
Oh, I thought maybe about, oh yeah, about Wilder, maybe Dawson too. I don't
No,
know.
I think it was about him because I was the last person she kissed.
Yeah. And then outside they talk and saying how she was uncomfortable in class with him since they had their kiss. Wilder calls himself a creep and says he stole her innocence, and Joey says he's not a creep and to not say that he's sorry. And then she starts to go on to see how she feels, but then she freezes. So she'll tell him another time.
Um, and Pacey's living at the restaurant.
Yeah, I guess because he doesn't have the boat anymore, so it's his only option.
Graham's house.
Yeah, well, he don't want to be there.
Everyone's living there.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I guess he didn't feel comfortable there. I don't know. So then Audrey goes to the restaurant to find Pacey cooking an omelet. And yeah, she finds out he's sleeping there. And then, because he agreed to help her with her lines for the movie, but he forgot. And Audrey sees the omelet. She wants it, but then he says no. And then jokes if it was to help her with the breast exam, of course. And he just says that's not the best time. And that's when a girl walks out. And Pacey introduces her to Audrey as Gina, but it turns out her name was actually Rena. So, of course, the woman is offended and calls him Stacy on the way out.
Okay. Isn't that what JC called him?
I don't know. I know it's something else, but I don't remember what it was exactly.
Yeah, it was something.
hmm Yeah, but that was funny. And then, yeah, so then he tells Audrey that she can have the omelet because he was cooking it for Gina or Rena. I'm
You
already
don't
getting
even
mixed
know.
up too. Yeah.
I'm
And
gonna
then,
call you Pacey.
and then, the next scene is where, again, the guy in the front house, Polar Bear, tells the guys there's a kegger at a sorority.
What'd you
So
call him?
Polar Bear, that's what the captions are telling me that his name is.
Polar
Yeah.
bear?
hmm He was mentioned once in another episode. Initiation, they had to guess his name. It's a nickname, obviously, but that's all they're giving me, so I don't know what his real name is. But he
Oh
says that
my
there's a
god.
kegger at a sorority, so if anyone's interested in going, they agree to meet at 11. He actually called it oh, I changed it. He's like called it like getting nookie or something like that. It just means sex, but I never heard that before. And then for some reason Eric stays behind with Jack and says the guys are just trying to make things up to Jack after everything. Don't know how that's possible. And Jack points out how they just left him at the bar injured. And then Eric says he stepped over the line, and Jack thinks that it's time to apologize his past, but he doesn't need to apologize. He's the last person that should apologize.
I know the guys have not apologized yet, and they're never going to
Mm-hmm.
because they think they're right. I don't know why, but they do.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and isn't it just weird that Eric is talking to Jack?
Mm-hmm.
Like, why?
Yeah. Because he was the one that had the trouble with the rooming situation in the first place.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, why are you hanging around Jack? I don't get it.
Mm-hmm. And then Jack tells Eric that he feels like an idiot around the guys, and Eric jokes and says that he is an idiot. And then we move to Dawson editing the movie. Jen walks in. Dawson feels like something's missing from the movie. The
Oh
ending
my
doesn't
God.
work.
Can I just, okay, did you hear what Dawson said?
What?
He said that Jack and Grams would have more
Oh,
chemistry than this. I was like,
yeah.
what?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm sorry,
And
but like Grams is like Jack's grandma.
yeah, and also just the
Like
fact that he said that in front of Jen too.
that's creepy. I know. Like, oh,
Hmm.
How did they not like get grossed out? Like, I don't get it.
Well, Dawson was the one that said that rather would you rather game with what was the guy? Oh, the principal. He's saying, would you rather see Grams and the principal have sex? Remember?
Hmm.
So this wasn't far-fetched for him.
Yeah, but like, why didn't they tell her to like be grossed out? Like, that's what normal people would do.
I think she made a face at least really quick, but then they continued on about Oliver.
I know, but at least like make it, I don't know, more obvious that we
Hmm.
believe that you're grossed out because I didn't believe it.
Yeah. Yeah, so Dawson knows that Oliver isn't right for the part, so he's got to
Yeah,
break the news to Oliver.
so how do you break the news to the person that wrote the movie?
I know. And then Oliver pops up again in the attic because Dawson caught him there and just says that he might not be what's best for the movie in this role. Oliver thinks he's wrong at first, but he is a director, and if the movie is going to get done, is because of Dawson's decisions. So he trusts him like that. Yeah.
I was confused with it too. I was like waiting for like Oliver to get like really mad and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then he didn't. He was just like, "Well, you are the director." And I'm like, "What?"
Mm-hmm.
Like if you wrote a movie and you wanted yourself to be in it and then someone told you you're terrible, you would say something. I
Mm-hmm.
was just like, "Come on now, Oliver." And Oliver is like really obnoxious.
Mm-hmm.
So like I just feel like he would have said something.
Yeah.
Can we
Yes.
talk about Joey and Wilder?
Yeah.
Like, I can't even call him professor. He's just, he doesn't even deserve the title professor.
Right.
Like, I can't with him. And did you know that Wilder was a friend of Joey?
No, yeah, I was surprised she said that too
I was
after
like,
Mentor.
what? Like, I can get, I
Mm-hmm.
guess, mentor, he's your teacher, but
Mm-hmm.
friend?
Yeah.
Like, what person is calling their teacher friend?
Right.
Like, normally you become, if you want to become friends with your teacher, normally it's after you're out of their classroom.
Mm-hmm.
Then you can, be friends with your teacher,
Right.
but not while you're in their class. That's just weird.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so they have to recast that role, and then Oliver says, who are they going to find at the last minute? A guy who
It's
is,
sexy.
mm-hmm,
And what
yeah,
else?
charismatic and attractive.
I was like, when they threw sexy in there, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, so, and Dawson added not burdened with a soul. And then Jen laughs and says, I used to date him, and Pacey knows, or not Pacey, Dawson knows who she's thinking of. And she's like, you never make me do that, right, Dawson? And sure enough, she's at his door and knocking. He opens it, thinks that she's, admitting she can't live without him. But she's like, no, I plan to definitely live without you for the rest of my life. That she needs a favor that involves making out with a really hot girl. So, of course, then Charlie definitely is interested in listening.
Well, and I think he thinks it's her.
Yeah, I was thinking that
Like,
too.
I get to make out with you, Jen. No, no, no,
Hmm.
you don't.
And then Joey walks into her room and says he's unbelievable, with Audrey adding, I know, he couldn't even remember her first name. And Joey's like, who? And Audrey's like, wait, who are you talking about? And she's like,
Wilder.
Wilder. And she's like, oh, yeah, he's unbelievable.
And then Joey's like, who are you talking about?
Hmm.
Your ex.
Yeah.
Um,
And then Audrey called her Bunny again, too, I noticed. And she told her to breathe.
can we go to Charlie and Jen reading the script?
Hmm.
Oh my God. This was just too funny
Yeah.
because Jen kept going. Every time it was her part, she'd go, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, she didn't want to be there.
It was hilarious. I was like,
Hmm.
what? And like, why wasn't Audrey going over the lines with him?
I don't know, I guess because she was talking to Joey, but that was it. She wasn't really doing anything.
I know, but she's in the movie. Wouldn't you
Yeah.
have her do the chemistry test? Quote, quote.
I guess, yeah.
I
They
mean,
should
she should
save
have been the
time.
one reading it,
Mm-hmm.
not
Because they had,
Jen.
yeah, because they have to do this all today. So to save time, they should have just had her read the lines with Charlie and not Jen and
And
save more
wasn't
time.
Audrey there that in the morning?
Yeah.
Remember she was there? And then
Mm-hmm.
they said it was wrong, like, because Oliver. So then they had to recast that day. And it was like, well, then why wasn't Audrey still there?
Well, Dawson was at home editing the episode and movie. So I think they're just taking a break for the day and then would come back later.
Mm. Okay. So yeah, she was saying blah, blah, blah. And then Charlie says, Dawson, buddy. Oh my
Mm-hmm.
God. That's like, Charlie, I don't think you and Dawson are buddies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Jen tells Charlie that if he tries to kiss her, he will enter a world of pain. And Charlie complains that Jen isn't giving him anything to work with.
I'm sorry, but Charlie and Jen going back and forth, it was just so funny.
Yeah. So then Oliver and Dawson decide to use Charlie for the role, and now they just need to do the rewriting of the ending. Oliver's offended, of course.
Well, I did
And
think it was funny when Dawson, I don't know if he was talking to Jen or whoever, but then it was finally like Charlie's like, so did I get the part or did I get the
mhm.
job? And it's like, oh my God.
Yeah, and Dawson and Charlie say yes if he can learn his lines in 2 hours.
Then he goes, huh? Well, first it was
Mhm.
3 hours, and then Dawson goes, more like two, and he's like, hmm.
Yeah.
This is why
Hmm.
Audrey should be there because she has to learn her lines too. So why don't they work together?
Right. And then back to the frat house, Eric talks about how the guys are looking for their next girlfriend who's just going to pitch at them and then next morning and then make them watch Notting Hill over and over again. And Jack says he liked Notting Hill and they
Did
laugh
you
and
ever
lay back
watch
in the
him?
bed. No, have you?
Me either. No.
No, I'll lay back on the floor. Eric, out of nowhere, basically asks Jack how he knew he was gay, and Jack just kind of explained it that he didn't just wake up one day and knew, he just always kind of knew, and it was about realizing that it was all right to be. And Eric says that Jack is amazing and the kind of guy he wants to be, and was looking
So
at him.
when Eric was when he asked that question, how
Hmm.
did like when did you know or whatever, or how did you know?
Hmm. Yeah,
Um, that's when I realized that Eric is gay.
yeah,
And like how he was like laying too, because he was like really close to Jack, and even Jack was like, what you doing?
yeah. Hmm.
But yeah, I was like, but when he asked that question, I was like, because people don't just ask the question. You know what I
Hmm.
mean?
Yeah.
So, and that intimate, like close setting too.
Hmm.
So yeah, I was like, that's when I was like, all right, Eric's got a different motive
Yeah. Hmm.
besides just asking a question as a friend.
Right. Yeah, because I've known from experience that sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes people who are that seem to be homophobic are actually the ones that are in the closet themselves. So, and
Which
that's
that's
in
Eric.
this case. And then we go to Wilder and Joey again because she's pacing outside of his office, figuring out what she wants to say still, and he sees her.
I'm just over here shaking my head.
Yeah. And then he
I
asks if she's
can't.
yeah, if she's selling Girl Scout cookies.
Okay, first of all, that's disgusting that he
Yeah,
is even bringing up Girl Scouts because Girl
I
Scouts
know.
are for kids.
Yeah.
That's already perverted. Like you're already
Mm-hmm.
imagining her as a kid. That's disgusting.
Yeah.
Um, like that was my immediate thought was gross. And again, you're
Yeah.
her teacher.
Mm-hmm. Red flag.
I don't know why this is okay because it's
Mm-hmm.
not.
Right.
Um, and I just what is going like there is nothing that is pulling me to watch these two.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing. Their scenes are so boring.
Yeah, unless there's a scene where he gets fired.
At least I'm not gonna okay. At least when Pacey and Miss Jacobs had scenes, at least Pacey was entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
Like these two are just they're so boring.
Yeah.
I can't. Like they're wasting screen time, I feel like.
Yeah, they just keep going back and forth.
Like, I honestly would rather just watch the movie right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like Dawson's directorial. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I was about to say it's film, but it's not his, it's Oliver's. But it's like, I could cut that part out
Right.
because this has been ongoing. It's like either
Mm-hmm.
make it happen or make it go away.
Yeah.
Well, do you like how it's taking so many episodes?
No, I thought it
It's
happened a
so
lot sooner in the
slow. It's so
season.
slow.
Mm-hmm.
Like on other shows, if they involve like a teacher, it happens
Yeah.
like the next episode or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't take this long.
Yeah.
This is probably why the show I hated season 5 is because it was like everything just was dragging.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like boom, this is happening and new storyline. It was, well, we're gonna give you like 2 storylines through the whole season.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah, and she can't make up her mind if she should stay in the class or not. She doesn't
Okay,
think
I,
she said.
I had a question for you about that.
Yeah.
Like they're like really into the semester now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can she drop his class?
Yeah, it seems to be early enough still, maybe.
Because I thought it was only like the first, I don't know how many weeks or whatever. And I'm
I think that
like,
maybe the first 2 weeks, I want to
yeah.
guess.
Because I was like, and she can still drop it?
Maybe. We're in February now, so I don't know if
Yeah.
for the start in January, maybe it's a little bit too late, but I
Yeah,
don't
but
know.
then on this show, remember Dawson can just show
Yeah.
up to school whenever he feels like it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I literally was like, I questioned that. I was like, she can drop his class right now? I thought she's like fully in the class right now.
Right.
I didn't know. I guess, and she got, well, I mean, her scholarship or whatever, I mean, her school is paid for. So I don't know. Because you know how sometimes you might have to pay for it or something, or you won't get
Di-
your money back or something for the class.
Didn't Dawson pay for her schooling?
Yeah. Remember, he
So,
gave her her first year worth or
yeah.
something. And then we
Mm-hmm.
wondered how much money did he really get? Because if he's paying for her school, only so
Hmm.
much goes for your first year.
Yeah. So I feel like um you want to get your money back if you drop out. I don't
Hmm.
know. That's a good question. I don't know.
Oh, and
Um,
isn't it weird that Dawson paid for her school and she's not even talking to him?
yeah, a little bit, but a lot has happened since then. Yeah, but Wilder says that she doesn't even need his class because she has the gift or the touch, whatever she wants to call it,
And
for
he said he
writing.
doesn't.
Yeah.
He wrote a book.
Mm-hmm. Well, he keeps saying it's a bad book too, but I don't know.
Yeah, but I feel like people are harder on themselves.
Mm-hmm. I thought maybe too he wanted kind of Joey's pity about that,
Oh,
like
yeah.
make her feel better about herself if
Yeah,
he's
so she'll say,
bringing down
no, you're
himself.
the best writer I know.
Mm-hmm.
Gross.
Yeah. And then in the dorm room, Audrey and Pacey are going over lines.
Oh, God.
This was kind of funny because
I'm sure you thought it was funny.
well, they already did one take that we didn't see, so they do it again. But this time, Audrey said she's going to act on the lines as her character would, and I was actually surprised. I knew she was going to get near him, but not on top of him like that. That wasn't expected for me. She was like really up in his face and everything, and I was like, at this point, you can't even have the papers in front of you because there's no room. And then they end up kissing, and then she pulls away, and because it's not right because he's Joey's ex and everything, and he's like, yeah, yeah, we can't do this, and he hides himself with a pillow. That was funny. And then yeah, so now Audrey's completely panicking and freaking out, and she can't even focus on the movie at this point. And then we go to the filming again, now with Charlie and Audrey.
Hmm.
And they're filming the scene. They're
And a
kissing.
certain person can't handle the kissing.
Hmm.
His name's Pacey.
Yeah, well, I feel like it was more Audrey than anything.
Yeah. But apparently he was moving it, I don't know,
Yeah,
too close to them or whatever.
yeah. Because
Okay. And you know what I thought was funny though?
hmm,
Dawson said something and then he said because he's talking to Pacey and he was like, our friendship. He like brings up their friendship. And I was like, I didn't know that they were friends.
right.
Like at this point in season 5, they're just acquaintances like around the group so that there's not tension.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't really see them as friends. So when he said friendship, I was like, your friendship is long gone, Dawson. You've said it how many times?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Pacey and Joey aren't even together anymore, and he's not with Joey, so there's no Joey involved anymore anywhere, but
No,
they're
they
still not
should be
talking.
friends.
Mm-hmm. Even though they have different things going on for them.
Yeah, but
But
right now they're working together.
yeah, except this part. But I thought it was funny how Audrey was complaining about Charlie and saying that Charlie Sheen over here can't keeps putting his tongue down my throat. And yeah.
Okay. And you know what made me laugh though? I mean, that was funny.
Mm-hmm.
But Dawson, oh my God. You know how calm, cool, and collected Dawson usually is, aka
Yeah.
boring,
Mm-hmm.
like no personality. Well, when Charlie wasn't getting it right, Dawson was like, for the love of God, just say it. I was like, oh
Yeah.
my God.
Because he thought his character wouldn't say that line
But
in the middle
I
of a
was just
take.
like, Dawson, what?
Mm-hmm. Well, I
Like,
mean, it's Charlie, so it's understandable. I feel like anybody would be like that with him.
I know, but Dawson is just like so chill.
Mm-hmm.
And then he just goes out there and says it. And I was like, oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, if this couldn't have gotten more entertaining, then it's Dawson saying something.
Well, what I thought was really entertaining is when they finished the next take, Audrey immediately hits Charlie in the head for kissing her like that. Hits him in the head. And then that's when she, kind of has her outburst and says that she can't do the scene with Pacey staying right there, so she walks off.
I know. And then Dawson's like, huh? Like,
Yeah.
what does Pacey have to do with this?
Yeah, and then she added that he's a terrible boom operator as it like to kind of cover it up.
And then Jen was just sitting there smiling, like, hmm.
Hmm. And then once again, Joey and Wilder are at his house together, alone. And
Blah,
then they
blah,
just
blah. Here,
they
I'm
sit
gonna be
there.
Jen. I'm gonna be Jen. Blah, blah, blah.
Hmm. Yeah, they sit there awkwardly and, joking like they're glad they figured this out because now they can just be here, relax together. And Oliver said that, not Oliver, Wilder said that he's so relaxed he could fall asleep because he was being serious, but Joey was the one that was only joking. And then I got his name wrong in my notes. Wilder said that he can't lose his job, and Joey says she doesn't want that, and then he says he's never done anything like this with a student before. I actually don't believe that. I feel like he could have easily done something before. He's just not mentioning it.
I know. Because he's so calm, cool, and collected, um, around Joey and like remember trying to get the rest of the students away so he can have alone time with her and stuff. It's like he's seems to be everywhere she is.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yeah, I like if this was your first time doing that, I don't feel like you would be that calm.
Yeah.
And the fact that he is
Mm-hmm.
makes me realize makes me think that he's done it plenty of times.
Yeah.
Probably once every year,
Mm-hmm.
at
I don't think he,
least.
yeah, I don't think he does it very well because he's been out in the open with Joey everywhere, and I feel like at some point, campus rumors will start going around saying that they might be involved with each other because they're always seen together. So,
I know. It's like, does Worthington not have rumors?
mm-hmm.
Because everywhere has rumors.
Yeah.
You could be walking down the street and people are going to be talking. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I mean? Like, whatever is going on. Like, it's just the fact that, again, like you just, about bringing up rumors. It's like, how come there isn't rumors going around?
Right. There should be by now.
I know. It's been happening since like episode 1, wasn't it? Like when she first met him,
Mm-hmm.
he
Yeah.
was creepy. So
Yeah.
it's like, I don't get it.
Yeah, because rumors went around about Pacey and Miss Jacobs around
Right
high
away.
school. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because they were
Yeah.
only seen together publicly once, remember?
Mm-hmm.
And it
Yep.
was like, bad, bad, bad.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, yeah, I don't get that either, that there wouldn't be,
Mm-hmm.
especially months in. I mean, school started what, August, September,
Yeah.
and it's now February.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there'd be rumors.
Right. And
Oh,
then
especially, could you imagine rumors around like winter break of, ooh, were they
right.
together? I
Mm-hmm.
mean, that would be a huge rumor.
Yep.
And you know Joey and rumors, she doesn't do well with them.
Mm-hmm.
So remember when she got the
But
baby that she was pregnant
oh
rumor?
yeah.
It's
Mm-hmm.
like she didn't handle that well. So it's
Yeah.
like,
Or her
um,
dad.
yeah, so it's like there should have been this would have been a better storyline
Mm-hmm.
if they had to be secretive because there was a rumor.
Right.
But instead, they're just acting like this is nothing.
Yeah, so Joey tells Wilder about her idea, for example, of desires and ideals. Then they end up kissing, of course. Then
You know what my desires are? To stop watching them.
hmm then Joey's phone goes off and she answers it. And obviously it has to be Audrey calling because who else would call her? So she has to
Well,
leave the house.
she has no friends, so nobody. Well, she doesn't.
hmm
Well,
So Joey,
she's not friends with Dawson. Pacey's not
hmm
calling her. She's not friends with
right.
Jen.
hmm
And Jack's too busy, so she has no
Yeah.
friends.
hmm Yeah, so she leaves, but then she comes back again just to kiss him again. So
Big mistake.
hmm
Um,
and,
oh my God. Can we go back to filming for a second?
hmm
When Oliver goes over to Dawson or whatever, and he was like, help, it's trying to think
yeah.
about Charlie. I was like,
Yeah.
oh my God.
hmm
And I have a question.
Yeah.
Like this episode, it's like very kind of hated on Charlie.
hmm
Do you wonder if that was like the writers hating on Charlie or the writers hating on the actor?
No, I think the character.
Because I'm like, I don't know. It's just like full on hating on Charlie.
hmm
And at this point, he's really doing nothing wrong.
Right.
I mean, he is doing all of them a favor.
hmm
Oh, but then it was funny though, because Jen told Dawson, you want me to kill him.
Right. Yeah, she was
I
serious.
was
Yeah.
like, she had a straight face. I was like,
hmm
oh my God.
Yeah.
And
And Dawson's like, you know, for her to go home.
he goes, sweetheart, I think you
hmm
need to go home.
Yeah.
And she goes, well, who's gonna take care of what's it called?
Clapperboard.
Yeah. And he was like, we'll find someone.
And ends up being Oliver too.
Yeah. Yeah. He was doing a really good job. He was too much in the camera. Did you notice that?
No, I didn't notice.
Like his full body was there and then he went around and I'm like, just get out of the camera.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then before that, Polar Bear and Blossom come into Jack's room and tells him that Eric told them that Jack tried to kiss him, and of course they believe it. And Jack tells him that he would never do that if they that he would, that they don't really know him at all. So he says that it's just best if he just moves out. And Polar Bear says that they don't want him to, but Jack just tells him to get out of his room, as he should. He should have like kind of pushed them out and slammed the door, I think. But
Right.
yeah, but the whole scene is in chaos because Audrey's in the bathroom upset about, kissing Pacey, and Charlie's wanting to give notes, and, Jen wants to attack Charlie. Or is that later? No, yeah.
Attack Charlie.
Yeah, because or was it Charlie? Hold on. I put yeah, so Pacey tells Dawson that it's probably his fault that Audrey's acting the way she is, that they're being locked up in the bathroom because, he kissed her, and Dawson figures that out for himself though. Calls him an idiot. And that's when Charlie brings up the script, and he says he has notes and how it's just very out of character for his character Gage to say or do this. And this just, I guess, pushes Jen overboard, over the cliff, and she just starts to charge at him, but then Pacey grabs her for the second time now. This is the second time she's wanting to kill him, and Pacey stops her. And,
Yeah,
Jen,
wasn't it funny that Dawson didn't step in? It
yeah,
was Pacey.
mm-hmm. Like he's the bodyguard inside.
Hmm. He seemed like everyone's bodyguard.
Yeah. And then Jen does calm down. And then Joey shows up because Dawson called her or texted her or something to come help. So he tells her he
No, he
wants to get
didn't.
Pacey. But then why is she? Oh, Audrey called her. Oh, I forgot.
Audrey
Okay.
called her and she was
Yeah.
just like, hey, and hey, he goes, take Pacey and go deal with him and
Right.
Audrey.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought for a second he was the one because he was like, it just seemed like he was like expecting her to show up to help. I don't know. Yeah. So she
Well,
does that.
it was weird that she wasn't there.
You know, she was with Wilder. So
No, I know, but every time he's made a film, she's always been there.
yeah, but this time they're not really speaking too much. I don't know. It's just Dawson isn't her priority anymore at the moment because
I
it's
know.
Wilder.
All I said was it was weird not to see her there.
Yeah.
So I was happy she showed up for a second.
hmm And then before Jen went home too, she's called Charlie the Antichrist and possibly no, not possibly, like he's the Antichrist in a handsome musician's body, she said.
Handsome.
Yeah, handsome musician, she said, yeah.
Yeah. So she thinks Charlie's handsome.
Yeah. She said in an angry way. Yeah.
Okay, but then Joey takes Pacey
hmm
to go see Audrey. And then, obviously Joey figures it out.
hmm
Um, and then she knocks on the door and Pacey's like, I can't go in there. So of course she pulls his ear,
Yeah.
which is what she normally does to Pacey.
hmm But that was funny when they were walking down the stairs to the bathroom. Joey asked Pacey if something happened between him and Audrey. He just like immediately went, no, no, you know, like trying to
Hmm.
hide it. Yeah, and then she talks to Audrey and says that, they don't need her permission, but she gives them their
A
blessing.
blessing. I know. I was
hmm
like, huh? Like, this is what I can't figure out. Why the writers want us to believe that Joey would just be 100% okay with this.
Yeah, I know.
Like, this was the love of her life.
hmm
I don't get it at all.
Right.
Like, there's a girl code, and Audrey knows that. That's why she's freaking out. And yet
hmm
Joey's just like, everything's good. I love you to both of them. And it's like, huh?
hmm Right.
This is what I don't, this is why, especially at this point, I didn't like the writing.
hmm
I mean, the writing has never been on point, but this doesn't make any sense. And
Joey even said that them kissing each other was the smartest thing either of them have ever done in a long time.
no, it wouldn't.
I know.
She's your close friend and he's your ex.
hmm
I don't get it at all.
Right.
And it's not like her and Jack where they were together for like 2 weeks.
hmm
They were together for like a year.
hmm
I can't with this.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's going to be mad about Dawson being with Jen.
I know.
Like, they weren't even together that long.
hmm
I mean, this is irritating. Doesn't it bother you?
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Like the writing on this, like, okay, it's one thing to be like, to like flip out and realize you made a mistake and just to kind of hold it in and tell them it's okay.
hmm
But at least flip out a little bit. Like they didn't make Joey, it didn't bother her at all.
Right.
Why?
I don't know. I guess she's too interested in Wilder now. Still doesn't
I
make
know,
sense.
but it's Pacey.
hmm
It's the person who shaped her into who she is.
Yeah.
Because think about it, she was
Most
just this
part.
like shy little girl, and he made her open up and be stronger and stuff. Like he's the one that did that.
hmm
She has him to thank for that. And the fact that we're gonna just brush it off. It's okay. You two can be happy. No, I don't really feel that's how any girl would feel.
Right.
most girls don't react that way.
Mm-hmm.
Most girls react the way Audrey did,
Right.
which was, oh, because she even said, Joey, like, why are you talking to me? Like, I did a terrible thing. And it's like, exactly. Like,
Mm-hmm.
that's how you should react. And that's not how Joey should react.
Right.
They at least got half of it right.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I mean. When I said I hate season 5, this is why. They make jokes that they were a couple. They act like they're friends and they don't care if each other are with somebody else.
Right.
Really.
Mm-hmm.
Makes no sense to me.
Me either. And then Jack's about to leave the frat house for good, but then he stops to talk to Eric and tells him that he knows what really happened and that he's gonna have to live with that and that he has some real issues and he really needs help and he hopes he gets it. And then he walks out. And then the crew is about to film the last scene. Joey walks over to Dawson. Dawson mentions that he's unsure of the ending and because Gage, the character, kills the girl. And then apparently he's in his dark period, even though he didn't write this part, but he's rewriting it. No, that's how it was originally. So I guess, yeah, this is his first script that he's using to be, because he said so himself. He thought that maybe he was still the romantic, hopeless romantic that he was when he was in high school. But now this movie is the complete opposite of that. So he doesn't really know how to work the angle. It's brand new to him.
Now, what was it that Joey was going on about? Like, because he said he was like confused or whatever. And she said, like, oh, all you needed was me. Huh?
Yeah, because he said he can't muster hope, and Joey tells him how she read Hope Dies Last on a bench one day and said that um maybe he's waiting for a sign and that sign is her. But she didn't really say much after that, so I didn't get that either. What
I
she meant
was
by
so
that.
confused. I was like, it would be one thing because, he was stressed out. If
Mm-hmm.
she would have then sat down and like taken Jen's spot and like helped him like she normally would
Mm-hmm.
right after she said that, but she didn't. She just left. And I was like, huh?
Right.
What do you mean you're like the sign that he was like waiting for or something? And then you leave. I'm like, what is that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. It's
And I
confused.
still don't understand because he's with Jen. So why is
Mm-hmm.
she saying she's the sign?
I have no idea.
I, I don't get this. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
she just added that it's going to be okay for all of them. So that wasn't really much. She goes. And
Nope.
then, yeah, then Jen is walking and sees Jack across the street on a bench. And all of a sudden, he
That's
has a
her.
cigarette.
That's her bestie.
Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden, he has a cigarette. He's about to light it, but then she takes it out of his mouth and asks what's going on with him. He says he doesn't know. He just remembers them being at a coffee stand and at the beginning of the year. And that's when Blossom came up and invited them to that party. And then everything was a blur after that.
I feel like Jack's gonna have a hard time.
Yeah.
Like now that he lost the frat house, like he's just lost himself. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, like where does Jack go from here?
Yeah, because he was already
Besides
drinking.
downhill.
Yeah, because he was already drinking a lot before with his grades. So I feel like now this might push him to drink more, even maybe. I
Yeah,
don't
and
know.
he's probably gonna fail again.
Mm-hmm. And then apparently pick up smoking as well. Yeah, and uh,
Well, it's like everybody's doing okay but him.
mm, right. But I think the line where Jen or Jack asks Jen if she liked Notting Hill and she says that she loves that movie, I think that kind of showed that they're going to be friends again because they can agree on liking this movie.
Well, I think they are friends. The fact that she saw him and went over to
Mm-hmm.
him,
Yeah.
like, this isn't you, you
Mm-hmm.
know, like, I'm
Mm-hmm.
here. Like, that was like her, I'm here for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Even though she didn't say it, you can
Mm-hmm.
feel it from her.
Yeah. The scene just made it obvious that they're going to hopefully get back on track with their friendship.
And again, I love the Jack and Jen friendship.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's what we need on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you're gonna write everything else bad, at least make them right.
Yeah. And then Oliver goes to Dawson saying that he agrees the ending sucks. And that's when Dawson, tells Audrey the script changes, which is a lot. Just going through the whole script, crossing things out, keeping this, taking out that, keeping this.
I thought it was funny because we're gonna just forget this,
Yeah.
crossing it
Mm-hmm.
out. And then he like
Yeah.
whispers what she's supposed to do.
Mm-hmm. And he's all excited about it and is laughing before they start the take. And Pacey's like, "What are you laughing? Like, why are you laughing about? You know?" Didn't
And
say
he doesn't
anything.
say anything.
Yeah.
Oh, did you understand the ending?
Well, the original was that
Yeah,
Gage
he,
was,
he was gonna kill her.
yeah, with
But
a
what
gun.
but what was like I didn't understand Dawson's ending.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out if the snow was real or if it was fake that they
Yeah,
planted
because
last
Dawson
second.
stood up like, oh my God, stop the camera.
Like it was a
But then,
surprise.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but then they just let it go and it was then he Dawson smiled and it was like all good. And I was like, what?
Yeah, so it's hard to tell if that was his idea or it just happened out of the blue.
Because
It did seem,
everybody was like looking up, like, what is
yeah.
this?
So I think it wasn't planned. So yeah, Dawson did lead the cameraman to show Charlie and Audrey walk off into the distance together and Audrey's character very well alive. So yeah, I don't know. That didn't really make sense either, that last minute change.
But I don't understand the ending. Like he was gonna kill her and he had the gun in his hand and then
It starts
they
snowing.
yeah, it snows and then they just walk away
Yeah, like
out of
everything's
scene.
fixed.
And it was like, what?
Yeah.
Like he still had the gun. I don't
hmm
understand this ending at all.
Right.
I don't understand the show. I don't understand the movie, but I definitely don't understand the ending.
hmm And then Pacey talks to Audrey, wants to apologize about what happened earlier in her room. And Pacey says now that they have Joey's permission, but then Audrey says that Pacey isn't her type again. They kiss, and she says it again, trying to convince herself. And then Audrey points out that she doesn't have a car to get home, meaning that Pacey can take her home. And they kiss again. And then Pacey says that she was amazing tonight on the movie and the thing that she does, how she smiles and the whole world lights up. How do you feel about that?
How do you think I felt about it?
You hated it?
Yeah, I hate those two together.
I think they're cute.
Nah.
And then where was I? Yeah, she says it was acting, how she makes the, world light up apparently, and then they kiss again. And then the very last scene, Joey's walking home alone and she plays pretend baseball with snowballs by hitting a street sign. Like she what's it called in baseball? Made a home run. Yeah, there you go. Like she made a home run or whatever. She was pretending she was pitching, I don't know. And then because even herself, she's like, Sammy something pitching or up to the plate. And then yeah, she just walks off into the distance and then we see to be continued on the screen, another random to be continued
Oh, we
again
did.
without yeah, without but before it was the one with Andy and Pacey and Dawson and Jen and Joey and Jack when we were trying to figure out who slept together. Like that was a
Mm-hmm.
part one episode. We saw the same thing to be continued, and then the next episode came along trying to figure out who actually slept together. So this is another one, but obviously it's not going to be the same plot. It's going to be, I'm guessing, with Joey, but what about Joey? Because she's just walking home. There wasn't really much to go off of with that. So that was it. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
So then highs and lows, or did you want to say something else?
So all right, so highs and lows. My high was mm, Charlie on set
Hmm.
and Dawson.
Mm-hmm.
The low was Pacey and Audrey and Joey and Wilder.
Oh yeah.
What about
Mm-hmm.
you?
The high was just seeing Dawson get back into his element of directing, even though there was so much chaos on set that day because of like everybody. Um, and then the low was seeing Jack finally leaving the frat house. And then rating,
A six.
I said a seven.
I guess still wasn't good. And then Joey being good with them.
Yeah. And then best and worst characters.
All right, so I picked Erica's the worst.
Yep, I agree.
Like, just tell the truth.
Mhm.
Like, even if you don't want to, like, come out yourself, then
Mhm.
just don't open your mouth and say that he did it.
Yeah, because he didn't
Like, it
even.
could have, like, Jack wasn't going to say anything. Like, you could have just
Yeah.
kept it between the two of you for the rest of your
Mhm.
life.
Mhm.
But
Yep.
instead, he didn't. So, you know
Right.
what? He's the worst.
Mhm.
And then I picked the best. I picked Joey.
Me too.
Because for some reason, she's okay with everything.
Well, I picked her just because she was, she was there for Audrey when she
And
was
then
freaking
what?
out.
Well, I liked that she was there for Dawson, I
Yeah, him
guess.
too. Yeah.
That split second.
Mhm. Yeah, and she helped him on set, with Pacey and Audrey. So she just kind of helped everybody. So yeah, that was pretty much it. And
Oh,
then,
was your worst Eric too?
yeah, we had those same ones. Yeah.
Okay.
And
All right,
then
what's the next episode?
the next episode, 15, is, let me see, is Downtown Crossing. So we know that Joey was walking, so maybe that's the crossing, I guess. I don't know.
I can't wait for you to watch and tell me how boring it is.
Well, we'll see. I feel like most episodes that you think are boring aren't really that boring to me, so we'll see.
Okay, okay. So you've heard it here first. Cynthia might like this episode.
Hmm. Yep.
Okay. Would you want an episode without anyone but Joey?
No.
Could you imagine an episode that none of them or the rest of them are in?
No, I feel like that wouldn't even be possible.
Well, you're about to see it.
Okay. We'll see.
All right. Thanks for listening.
Yep, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for listening to this episode of Duo Chat. If you want to chime in with your opinion about the episode and the show we discussed, you can email us at duochatpodcast@gmail.com. And to keep up with updates about the podcast, you can follow us at Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Duo Chat Podcast. And give us a review wherever you listen to podcasts. We would really appreciate it.